Hi, it's Casey from Casey Michelle Art. I'm going to be doing a flip through of my lavender macaroon journal. All right, let's get started. The back, look at that. Paris has some sparkles. It's a bit of a collage on the back, a lace collage on the front with a belly band, two belly bands actually. To the left is some collage paper with the ostrich feathers and some diamonds. I'm going through a postcard that's also on my Etsy shop. You can fold it and it has the writing on the back and the postcard on the front. There's a Victorian calling card. One of my favorites in my collection. I actually scanned it and made it where you could purchase it, print it, and cut it with decorative scissors. That's my beat dyed paper. This is some old advertising, French advertising that will be in my Etsy shop within probably the next couple hours of making this video. I really like the styling on that, and I'm pinning it to an authentic illustration book that my uncle used to use, my great uncle actually. He was a Disney animator. This is a vintage postcard. It's a copy. Oh, you got to see a little peek of my dog Coco. It's a little Bichon Frise. But that postcard is in my Etsy shop. It's part of my vintage Christmas collection, but I thought it went well with the lavender journal. This is a piece of ephemera. I'm going to be doing an invoice ephemera pack on my Etsy shop. And right there you see my film collection, which is also in my Etsy shop. I just cut it up and made it into a pocket. That is a Boston fern that I have in my kitchen. I pressed it and put it on some laminating paper. And this is part of a paper pack I have. You could cut it into postcards. A little pocket there, and then to the right is Sears and Roebuck paper. And here is another part of my film collection that is from my boho embellishment collection in my Etsy shop. Yeah, this is part of my film collection. It's a bit of a collage with music paper, a postcard, part of my stamp, my postage stamp collection. To the left is my music sheet paper that you can also find in my shop. This is a bookmark I printed and added a touch of lace to. And to the left is my green tea stained paper. And you saw there part of my Polaroid collection in my Etsy shop. This is part of that invoice collection that I will be putting in my shop. And there's a little envelope I did some hole punching to. I did a wax seal, my favorite wax seal. It is a French wax seal. And oh, I love this color combination. I think this might be my favorite. This is in my Etsy shop. It is British Isle flowers. This is an envelope. You could actually sew it up to make it a pocket. This is in my Etsy shop, my different envelope collection. I added a purple wax seal, added some vintage Indian sari silk ribbon that I sewed on there. And like I said, this is my favorite color combo, all the greens and lavenders. Stunning. Okay. And once again, this is part of a paper pack. I cut it into the postcard, sticking it behind that envelope, the lavender envelope. In the collection, there's other colors too. I believe there's blues, pinks. Okay, that's a Millionaire Mile. That is part of a vintage book I have. There is one of the Polaroids from one of my Polaroid collections in my Etsy shop. This is the Centerfold. This is a 2 signature journal, and that is part of my boho embellishment set in my shop. And I made a bookmark out of that paper pack. That is in my lavender. That little tag is in my lavender collection that you can find. That's one of my favorite postcards. I did scan it and made it where you can print it out and you can purchase it in my Etsy shop. I made it where you can just cut it out and fold it, where you actually get the back of the writing on there as well, and you could sew it up, or on that one I actually glued it. Oh, I love this. This is vintage Indian fabric, and this is a piece that will end up in my Etsy shop. It is a music cover, made it into lavender. I thought it would be so beautiful in this lavender journal. And then to the right, I love that little lady. She's holding, I believe it's Lily of the Valley. And this is one of my lavender Polaroids in my collection that you can get in my Etsy shop, a stamp from there as well. I'm going through kind of telling you all the different ways that you can use the pieces that you can get in my Etsy shop. This is going to be part of that invoice collection for purchase. And just flipping through, that's somewhere where I bought some vintage 40s fabric, a farmhouse in France. This is vintage wallpaper. I actually scanned it because I didn't want to use it. I kind of hoarding it, but I did print it, scanned it, printed it. And here's another piece from the invoice collection. It's French ephemera. This one is a piece I will not have for sale, but I did find it and I thought it was beautiful. It's another French piece, putting it behind the flower fairy. More of that, excuse me, Sears and Roebuck catalog. It is authentic. It's from I believe 1976, but it is a reproduction of the late 1800s Sears and Roebuck. So it's still vintage, just not the late 1800s one. That was a part of my Polaroid film collection. Actually weaved some ribbon in there, added a little bead, did a hole punch to weave it through. I really liked how this came out, and I ended up making it like a little pocket where I actually bent it so it was a pocket on the other side too. Another piece that I will be putting in my invoice collection, and behind that is some vintage wallpaper. Once again, I scanned it and made it where I could cut it and paste it on the page. More of that beat dyed paper. This is part of a paper pack, and oh, I love that ribbon, the sari ribbon, love it. And some more ephemera. I like that it has purple typewriter. I really like that. The violet. This is authentic 1900 music sheet paper, Song of the Autumn. I thought that was perfect for this journal since it's autumn time. And then, of course, violet for the purple. This is part of my Polaroid collection. Once again, it's in the lavender one. And it's on sketching. That is another one of my authentic French ephemera that I scan that will be in my shop. I like the alphabet on the side there. That is a washi sticker on my coffee dyed paper, and I created a bookmark, add a little bit of lace. This one is an authentic postcard. I love the metallic gold. I don't remember what year this is from. I think probably like 1905, 1910, something like that. But that is an authentic postcard. Some more of that Sears and Roebuck. I thought the hats were really darling. This pocket, that lace is part of my embellishment boho pack that I have in my Etsy shop. Once again, my lavender Polaroid that's in there. And that is going to be a piece of my invoices, my French invoices in my shop. I thought it was perfect because it says Lunetary and it's an eyeglass store. Another ribbon, that is a postcard that I added some embellishments to. This is in my map collection that you can find in my shop. It's French. And I layered it with some flowers. I think those are larkspur flowers. And I really, really like the map collection I have. This is a 1940s fabric, authentic fabric from France, and I added some gold and purple lace to it. This is a pocket. Once again, there's more of that 1940s French fabric. I love the colors, purples and yellows. That is some tracing paper that I printed on. And there's another flower fairy. Made it into a pocket. Added some ribbon. That's vintage rickrack. And there's some embossed paper that I made into a pocket. And this is once again my map paper that's in my shop that I layered flower. I think that's maybe a primrose or rose of some sort that I layered on top of that map. Folded it up. I did a bit of distressing with Tim Holtz's Distress Ink. I don't remember what color that is. It's in the browns though. And then there is a postcard that I did some fancy stitching on. I like the colors of that. I thought it was kind of the pinkish reds, the kind of trifecta of that. This is my favorite paper. It is Jewels, Blue Jewels. And I thought it went so pretty with this almost Gibson gal looking lady. More of my Polaroid collection. I didn't do the lace. I didn't lace the ribbon on that, but I did on the other one. This is a tag. I did some fussy cutting on it. This took a while. I think just the cutting of that took nearly an hour, but I did it based off of Jackie Chime's tutorial she had. This is a mini envelope to the left. I do have the template in my shop, and I use some of my papers, my lavender papers that are in there. Okay, this is a French telegram. I did get it from Penny Rose and Papery. I printed it on a 5x7 size, but you could do it, you could print it larger. This is a little slide with a purple and yellow flower, so I thought that was perfect. It matched the 1940s French fabric that I have going on inside this journal. Another flower fairy, added sari silk and added a bead. And this is some vintage wallpaper, and once again I scanned it because I just didn't have the heart to cut it up. And this is paper and a stamp that's in my shop. I also have the envelope templates too that you can cut out my papers. It comes with that tag template as well for the mini envelopes. Once again, more of that Sears and Roebuck paper. Oh, I love it. It has all these lovely flowers and bouquets. This is in my shop. It is once again the British Isle flowers in the lavenders and pinks. And this is a Polaroid from my Polaroid collection, number 3, because I actually have 3 macaroon journals that I've made. This is number 3. It's the lavender macaroon. And this is a template from my mini envelope set. I added some glass glitter to that. Another one of my invoices. This is my envelope template with my boho embellishment kit. So that I made into a pocket. I did fancy punch on that on my beat paper. Once again, the original authentic 1900s music paper. This is my collage paper in my shop. I put an invoice on there, a chandelier. I love the back of this. And the front. The front has some Venetian lace. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks so much.